Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are listening to the inaugural episode of the Brutal Truth Browns Bengals podcast, featuring Angry Scott, casual fan Kris, and baby driver Trey, the Georgia fan. Gentlemen, how we doing?
Doing good. Thanks for the invite. Talk a little NFL, boys.
I'm awesome,
Yes,
man.
indeed.
Good to talk about the Bengals.
Yes, we want to, of course, Trey's going on his Georgia short because, he's a big Nick Chubb fan who's one of the Browns' best running backs. I assume that's why you're wearing the Georgia shirt, right? Is that right, Trey?
Nick Chubb is the man. Chubby time. He was the man.
Yes, indeed. You want to bring up our sponsor there, Trey?
Yes, sir. Viva Tequila. Tell us about it, Scott. Angry Scott.
Viva Tequila Seltzer is the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market. It is no wonder why Viva was rated the number one hard seltzer in the world by the San Francisco World Spirits Competition this year. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a 4.5% ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations. As it was created with an active lifestyle in mind, we flavored our tequila seltzers because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with a kick, just as we like to live our lives. Whether it's an huckleberry while playing around a golf or an elderberry after a Saturday morning workout, or flavors perfectly with an artisanal Blanco tequila for our subtle and refreshing drinks. Our belief is live long, live well, and live up to it. Hashtag Viva Up. Influence your next bad decision. But if you're a Browns fan, maybe don't go and find a masseuse online, because we all know that doesn't work out very well.
Ooh. Hey, tasty beverage. My personal favorite so far is elderberry. Great at the pool. I know we're at the tail end of pool season here. Also follow them on Instagram at vivaseltzer.com. And speaking of that, in our back homegrown here, I know our buddy Kris is in, I believe you're in Ohio, right, Kris?
Good old Indiana.
Oh, Indiana, my bad.
You can tell Kris and Trey are best friends because he obviously knows what state he lives in.
Best friends. Anyway, we're going to bring this up. So bring it up because Kris is the Bengals fan and we got Scott on here and they are best friends, Ohio State. So last year we talked a little bit about this breakdown, 21-16. I believe no Baker Mayfield and it was no OBJ. Give us a little flashback of this great encounter.
Well, actually, Trey, you're looking at the wrong game. The game I'm looking at is November 7th, 2021, and we'll get into that here in a second.
But what Case Keenum?
What's that?
Case Keenum played in this one, right? Did they play twice? Is this the Case Keenum game? Is that the right one or no? Sorry.
I don't think that was the case.
All right.
That first game was with Baker.
Did you say November 7th? This one? I apologize. I'm sorry. Go ahead. We'll bring this up.
No, as a Bengals fan, I'd rather not pull that up, but do your thing, Scott.
Baker Mayfield. Sorry, Baker against Burrow. Was this a bad game? No OBJ in this one?
Scott, where you at, buddy?
Did we lose him?
We may have. Well, Trey, I'll give you the forgettable moments.
Yeah.
So was it November? So Bengals had started to build up quite a little bit of confidence here, and this was a real big test. This was at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. Now it's what is that? Paycor Stadium. They renamed it. But anyhow, from a Bengals perspective, it was quite forgettable. As you see that first play there, Bengals are driving in the red zone, and Denzel Ward just kind of bullied Jamar Chase a little bit there, but
right.
Yeah, just horrible play. Our good buddy Denzel Ward picked us off and just took it back to the house. And from that point on, it was just it felt like catching up on our end, and Browns just kind of had our way with us. Just couldn't find a rhythm, couldn't get back into it.
Right. Looks like my boy Nick Chubb had a big game too. 14 carries, 137 and a touchdown. Hey, we got Angry Scott back on.
Yeah,
yes, indeed.
Back,
I think Deshaun actually went and cut me off because of the masseuse comment earlier. So I'm sorry. But before I forget, let me just say, please like, subscribe the Brutal Truth Browns Bengals podcast. Or if you're a breakfast fan, please like and describe your favorite hash browns.
Talk about those subscribers.
Those hash browns and describers.
The reason I'm bringing this game up from last year I'm projecting what's going to happen. The Browns play the Panthers the first week of the year here, and I'm projecting what's going to happen when Baker goes, who now plays for the Panthers, is going to go and play the Browns. I think it's a 2.5 point spread. I think that the Panthers are going to win big, and I'm a longtime suffering Browns fan, and part of that's because we haven't won an opener since 2004. I want to say Jeff Garcia was the quarterback for the Browns at the time, and we beat the Ravens, if memory serves me correctly. That's the last time we won an opener. But I also know Baker Mayfield very well. He's going to go into this game, and he's going to play lights out. And everybody in Carolina said, fuck yeah, we have our answer at quarterback. But you don't, because in this game, when the Browns beat the Bengals 41-16, that was the game after OBJ left the Browns. And then Baker went out, and he balled out, 14 for 21, 218 yards, 2 touchdowns. We win big. And the fact of the matter is, hell yeah, we don't need OBJ. We're going to be just fine. Now, one of those teams ended up playing in the Super Bowl. Kris, can you remind me, was it the Browns or the Bengals who ended up playing in the Super Bowl at the end of the year?
This season, it was definitely the Cincinnati Bengals.
So I expect Baker Mayfield to ball out when the Panthers play the Browns in the first game. I definitely expect that to happen. But then I think a couple games into the year, you're going to see, the Baker that we've seen, that I saw for 4 years in Cleveland. So I do expect him to come out big in this game, but I think ultimately, I don't think he's going to be, their answer long-term or quarterback. Now, I do think that Jacoby Brissett, who's our quarterback right now, we'll see how that goes. Jacoby is not a long-term, answer either. But as you know, Deshaun Watson is out for 11-game suspension. As I say this time again, as a Browns fan, we didn't have to go and guarantee Deshaun a dime, just $230 million guaranteed and our souls. So right now, am I very conflicted from a Browns fan? Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and say he's guilty of something. So, we'll see how it goes if he turns out. I mean, if I get $230 million guaranteed, who's not going to take that? Still the most ever for a quarterback. But it's going to be very, very interesting to see what the Browns do, because right now they have the team ready to win a Super Bowl, but we do not have a quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, in this day and age, you need a good QB.
All right, so
Scott, so you mean to tell me Jacoby Brissett doesn't instill confidence in you?
Well, did he instill confidence? I believe your wife is a Colts fan. Am I right?
That is correct.
Were you excited when Andrew Luck retired and Jacoby Brissett was the quarterback of the Colts? Remind me how he did.
I'm not a Colts fan, but he was solid. I'll tell you that. So based on what I've seen, he'll get you some wins, but he won't get you very many wins. So I think he'll get you, at least he'll keep you respectable.
Afloat?
Yeah, he'll keep you afloat there. So I think when he got his contract extension for the Colts, it was right around the same level as Andy Dalton. And I've got my feelings on Andy. He did his thing in Cincinnati for a couple of years, but when Andy got bad, it got really bad. So I think, he'll get you about 500. My advice, run the ball. Give it to the stud in the backfield.
Got a good.
I think Jacoby Brissett's all-time record right now is 28-32. I don't think it's great when he was at Indianapolis. There's nothing against Jacoby. He's just not a starting quarterback.
Yeah, he's a game manager, dink and dunk guy.
Yep.
So I mean, he's not gonna be, your long-term answer. So I mean, is Deshaun gonna be a long-term answer? I don't know. Now, do you think that if you were a car company like, Lincoln or Infiniti, they have those massaging chairs? Do you think that maybe they should reach out to Deshaun, to promote their massaging chairs?
Exactly, for sure.
Or as I like to call it, the ball tickler. I mean, I use that inappropriately, but the thing is, if you've never tried those massaging chairs, they are phenomenal. But I don't know if anybody wants to touch that with a 10-foot pole. So I don't know. Ultimately, here's the deal. I expect Baker to ball out in this game. I believe he said something along the lines of when asked last preseason game, hey, how are you going to do against the Browns? I believe he said he's going to fuck them up. And he's, oh, no, I didn't say that. He definitely said that. Knowing Baker, I'd say he definitely said that, and I think he's going to play well. And I expect Carolina to win by 21 plus points.
Wow.
Just because in that game, they definitely have the better quarterback. Now, he is the best quarterback on the Panthers. I expect him to play decent, but ultimately, I don't know. Jacoby, 11 games is different than 6 games, so I will say this as a long struggling Brown fan. I wish that Joe Burrow was my quarterback. I really do. But I wish Joe Burrow had the rest of – I wish he had the rest of the team around him, because I think besides that, I think we have a better team. I will say this, as horrible as the Haslams have been for owners, they have just been horrific. At least they're trying to win. I would say Cincinnati doesn't really always try to win because they don't like to spend money, which is required to win. It's just that the Haslams don't have a problem, obviously, spending and guaranteeing money, but they just, have been really horrible at it. So, I do find it ironic where they said one of the things about Baker Mayfield is they said that he wasn't adult enough. Well, Deshaun Watson's very adult, probably too much adult. So, that's your guy now. So I'm conflicted. I think he'll be a good a player on the field, but we're not going to see him until week 12,
right?
I believe, against the Houston Texans.
Yep.
All right. So here's a scenario for you, Scott. Just a quick question. All right. So best case 6-5, 5-6. And then also the little sample size we saw of Deshaun Watson, who sat out all of last year. He's a little rusty in the preseason. I know it was a small sample. Like, can he can you guys maybe get in the playoffs? What, 10-6, 10-7 with him? Let's just say Jacoby Brissett goes 6-5 on a good thing. Is this team good enough to make the playoffs? And can Deshaun Watson transition in his rhythm? Because it's going to be 11 games.
Yeah, I think he didn't play at all last year, and then it's 11 games this year, and he looked like garbage in the first preseason game. So that's a lot of time for not playing. Yep. So we're just going to have to see how ultimately he's going to go and look. Also, we haven't seen Amari Cooper yet because he didn't really play in the preseason. So right. I think we can make the playoffs. I think, the best we're going to do, what is it there? I kind of see us going like 10-7. Maybe 9-8, and I hope so. But there's no telling. I'm conflicted. I know a lot of people are. Some people just want to put their head in the sand. I'd also kind of say you kind of see that on any team. I could go in the AFC North, and I could go to the Bengals, Kris's Bengals. And what's the name of your running back there? He came from Oklahoma.
Joe Mixon.
Okay, he has done well at Cincinnati. He also got suspended for a year at Oklahoma for horrific incidents. So I can kind of go around everybody in the AFC North, and everybody has quote unquote questionable players. The difference is some things are worse than others. The Steelers fans had Big Ben, and he was accused of 2 sexual assaults or rapes. I guess 2 is better than 24, but it's not as good as how many that I've been accused of, which is 0. So the thing is, they're going to go, if you can play football, and they're going to give you a second chance. And ultimately, I don't know how much Deshaun's going to do this year. In fact, I don't think he's going to be very good. But is he going to be good a year or 2 from now? It's just that the Browns are built to win now. So what's that going to be like, And
I'd say, go, Kris.
So Scott, doesn't sound like you're super optimistic. Is there something you're looking forward to, or is there any bright spot on the Browns? Do you see anything good in them?
Yes, everything. The offensive line is great. The running backs are great. I think there's a lot of question marks. The receiver, the defense, hopefully is going to be better. They brought back Jadeveon Clowney, still Myles Garrett. We'll see. The bright spot is it's football season. But once again, being a long-suffering Browns fan, year in and year out, now you're like, hey, we actually have a good team that's good enough to win. But once again, hey, surprise, surprise, do we have a question? Do we have a good enough quarterback? We have a very questionable quarterback, for things he's done off the field. But ultimately, is he the answer? We'll see. I don't think we're going to see that this year,
And then looking at the schedule really quick, I think All right, you said he'd probably lose that one, but you got Jets, down Steelers, and Falcons. I think you need to try to go 2-2, 3-1 right here and get a good start. Falcons to me, I mean, I'm Falcons fan, trash. Marcus Mariota. They got Kyle Pitts. I can't even name the receivers, and a bunch of 31-year-old Cordell Patterson at running back. Defense is bad. Rebuild year. Jets, I think Zach Wilson's banged up already with his knee. You got Joe Flacco. You got to try to split or win these to get it rolling because Chargers are tough. Pats are the Pats on the road at the Ravens. Probably need to try to split with the Bengals just to try to make the playoff. Dolphins, you got Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Bills. I mean, looking at this, man, it's kind of a tough little road here.
Well, I'm going to go, Trey, if you go back at the top there, if you can keep track, I'm going to tell you how many wins there's going to be. Okay, first game,
Angry Scott's score prediction. Yeah.
Right, ready? First game, loss. Second game, win. Third game, I'm slightly confident they win, and I'll say 51-49. So you're 2-1, and then you should beat the Falcons. You're 3-1. You're going to lose to the Chargers, 3-2. The Patriots are at home. I think it might be 3-3. Maybe I'm going to say 3-3.
Okay.
Then it could be 3-4.
Right.
Then it could be 3-5 against the Bengals.
Tua.
I think you're gonna get one of these games in here, so I will give them the Dolphins games 4-5.
Bills
okay, you're gonna lose to the Bills, and you're gonna lose the Buccaneers.
The GOAT.
You're going to beat the Texans. I think you're going to win one of the games of the Bengals.
Right. Was that 5-6, 6-9? And then he comes back, right? He comes back. What?
Houston Texans.
Okay.
So yeah, I think we'll win that game. We'll win one of the ones with the Bengals, maybe one with the Ravens. I don't know. Now I said what 9-8, 10-7, and I don't I don't think I have 9 wins. So I don't know, man. It's not how I'd like to start the year. So I mean, what are your thoughts, Kris, on in terms of how the Browns are going to do?
I think you'll do better against the Panthers than you think, right? If you've got young Denzel Ward in the backfield, he's a monster, right? Who's your other corner on the other side? Is it Greedy Williams?
There's Greedy Williams, and there's a kid out of Northwestern. His name escapes me at the time, but there's the kid out of Northwestern as well.
Yeah, so dude, they've been practicing against Baker for at least a year. You don't think they've got his tendencies pinned? You don't think they've got this game circled just as much?
Yeah, they do. But here's the thing about Baker, man. He will ball out, like he did against the Bengals last year. And then a couple weeks later, like, well, nobody's questioning me for a little bit. And then he'll choke on the chicken bone. So, but that being said, I think that he goes, and I think he definitely comes through to begin with. So, yes, they know their tendencies. Say, look, I'd love to see him win, especially with a quarterback that's not our long-term answer, but history tells me we're not going to.
Well, I would debate. I'd call it a push on that one. Again, you've got Myles Garrett. You've got a fresh defense who's just waiting to shut this kid up, right? I don't know very much about Carolina. I just know that Matt Rule's their coach, and I have no clue about the offensive line matchup. I have no clue about the surrounding offensive weapons on Carolina's side, but
it sounds like you've done your scouting. Of a push.
No, nobody knows anything about Carolina, right? I mean, you're there, but I mean,
besides the fact that Trey and I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, yes, we have no idea about Carolina.
Exactly. So I think, yeah, it's NFL. Anybody can win, especially opening weekend. So I think it's more of a push than you think.
Just to remind everyone, this is the casual fan, Kris. As you can tell, he really just hopes that both teams have a fun time. So he's done his extensive research because he said, and I quote, "I know nothing about Carolina."
All right, I'll give you my breakdown. I know a little bit. I think the key thing is if CMC can stay healthy because he's an elite back, but he's been fragile the last 2 years. 9 games in 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
Baker's going to come in with a chip on his shoulder. Pro Football Focus, I think last year, if they got any better, they were ranked 31st or 32nd, but they did add a big, I think he's top 5, top 10 draft pick from NC State. He's a monster. But if that O line is that bad, Baker might be running for his life. Also, they got DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, who had dropsies last year. Their defense was pretty good, but I could see this being, 24-21, 24-17. I don't think they're going to get smoked because I think, like Kris said, they're going to try to run the ball, play defense. Jacoby Brissett, game manager. You got Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. Hopefully, you got some receivers. I think it might be kind of low scoring, turnovers, penalties type game. Could be wrong.
Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking.
If Baker was not the starter, if this was Sam Darnold, then I feel much more confident. I think this is a 10-point victory. But with Baker, man, unfortunately, I know him too well, and he's going to come out hair on fire in this game. So I will go and give my prediction. I think it's going to be 40-19, the Panthers.
Well, if you're a degenerate gambler, he's giving you throwing you a bone because this is a
On bones.
Okay. All right. Well, jumping right over to it, we're going to talk to Kris's favorite team here, Cincinnati Bengals, coming off Super Bowl campaign. They did play.
Yes, sir.
And going against the beloved Steelers with just named Mitch Trubisky, and they got Kenny Small Hands. Is your backup? He looked pretty good in the preseason from what I read. But first off, is Burrow going to be ready? Didn't he have appendix, been kind of banged up or something? Some off the field.
If you mean banged up, you mean it burst, yes, and he had to have it taken out of his body. So his appendix is banged up in the sense of it had to be removed so he didn't die. Yes.
Is he questionable?
Well, no, he's solid. He's 100%. So at this point, it's preseason. We've Zach Taylor, our coach, he's got all the confidence in him. The whole city does. I mean, at this point, just name all the firstborn sons, Joe. Name a street after the kid. He's just ready to go.
I think he filmed. I think what he was really out for is he was filming Home Alone 5, from what I heard. Is that what he was doing?
Between UFC fights and Home Alone 5, he's had a busy summer.
Exactly.
But no, Joe's in good shape. I don't think he's ever had a normal off season, right? So his first year was COVID. Last year, rehabbing his ACL, and this year, that whole appendix thing got in the way. So he knows his stuff. He's well studied. He's got it all together. He's still taking snaps at practice. He's done some 11-on-11s. So the chemistry he's still got it with his guys.
Right.
So I think the thing we're most looking forward to this year is just seeing where we left off, right? We left some meat on the bone versus the Rams, but we got a retooled offensive line, right? 80% of the line's brand new. Wow. Everybody but our left tackle is gone. So super excited, right? We got Alex Karras, or Alex Kappa, Ted Karras, and got a new starter at left guard, Cordell Volson. He's a rookie, but he's been playing pretty decent over the summer. So again, anything is an upgrade compared to the line last year. So to see what Joey B did with the guys last year to make it to a Super Bowl with the weapons he's had and that line, we're pumped.
Gotcha. I know you got a lot of weapons. You got Mixon, Jamar Chase, probably top 5 receiver, if maybe even better. T. Higgins still just loaded.
Oh yeah, Tyler Boyd. He's often forgotten about, but he's a clutch guy. He's a carryover from the Marvin Lewis era, but he's tough.
What's your thoughts there, Andrew Scott? The beloved Bengals?
Yeah, I think that where's this? Is this at Cincinnati or is it at Pittsburgh?
Yeah, it's at Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
6.5.
I think the Bengals win, man. I mean, you're coming off that Super Bowl high. Some of the Bengals maybe got yes, Joe Burrow had his banged up appendix, but the good news is it's removed. So I don't think
that's out the way.
From having my appendix removed as well many years ago, I can tell you that don't have to worry about it now. So I mean, hopefully everyone has recovered from Aaron Donald hitting them in the head of the helmet. So during that that scrimmage here earlier between the Rams and the Bengals. But beyond that, man, I think you've got a team that's hungry. Just came off the Super Bowl, albeit a loss, and you've got a great young quarterback. So I do expect the Bengals to win. But man, Mike Tomlin's a hell of a coach, and he's going to go and give them. I don't think he's ever had a losing record with the Steelers. So just when you say, "Hey, the Steelers are going to be horrible," well, they're going to be better than what you think. So I think the Bengals are going to win, but it's going to be a close game.
Yeah. In the words of Lee Corso, not so fast, my friend. Right. So Tomlin always gets his guys geared up. It's never an easy win, or it's never a foregone conclusion with this guy. So they make you earn it. I think, is TJ Watt banged up?
Yeah. I think he's banged up, and I'm not sold on Mitch Trubinsky either.
Nah.
And Najee Harris, he should be healthy, but he came in with a sprained was it Lens Frank? How you pronounce it? Foot?
Oh, that Liz Frank foot. Yeah, he's
that's something to look at. I mean, they're going to try to run him in the ground. He's going to a lot of carries. I have a diehard Steelers buddy that said they have a garbage offensive line, terrible. That's something else to look at. He said they look brutal in the preseason. And then seems like Deontay Johnson's a great player, but always hurt. You got Claypool. They lost Juju, no Big Ben. Got a lot of questions. I think the defense will be good as usual, but could be.
Offense may struggle.
Yeah,
they got former dog, George Pickens.
That's right. He's flashed. He could be good. But I don't know. I may be seeing them maybe like, 8-8, 7-9, whatever, 17 games, something like that. I don't know.
No, it's a 17-game
season
now.
Maybe 8-9, something like that. I know that's a weird number. Well,
you're saying for the Steelers?
Yeah, I think they're just going to be down. No QB, no Big Ben. Lost a lot of weapons. I mean,
yeah, it'll be a down year for them. Looking at the Bengals schedule, though, we got a tough one ahead of us.
Yeah, looking at this, we'll let Kris give us your. You got. I think you win that one. Then you're at the Cowboys. What's your thought?
Cowboys? I hate the Cowboys, so I just I hope we run them into the ground. So any Cowboys fans, I mean it. So I just hope we run them into the ground.
Right. At Jerry World.
At Jerry World under the lights, and Joey B's gonna let us shine under the lights. Jets, that's a revenge game. So I think, again, Joey B's got a little bit of, I think, the Tom Brady revenge factor in him. So they upset us last year. I think we underestimated them, and Coach Coach made a few questionable calls, but we'll be ready this year. That'll be a win.
That's 3-0. Yeah. Got Dolphins.
Dolphins, it's NFL, so you never know.
Right.
Especially in Miami.
Looks like that's I'm not sure if that's a Sunday night game or Monday night game too. It's got 8:15. Maybe it's Monday night.
Yep.
At Ravens, that'll be tough. I'm gonna say 3-1 at Ravens. Lamar, it's gonna be a night game.
That's gonna be a tough one for us. Lamar's gonna be back. Dobbins might be back for him too. So NBC. Oh man, they're giving us all the prime time stuff. We may lose that one.
3-2. I think you win this at the Saints. Jameis Winston. They lost a bunch of dudes. Depends on if Michael Thomas is back or not. That dude's always hurt.
Michael Thomas is back. I think, again, the New Orleans Buckeyes, they got Chris Olave, so I'm hearing good things from him. But I think it'll be close, but we might be able to edge that one out.
What is that? Maybe 4-2, 1, 2, 3, 3-2, 4-2. I think
4-2.
Falcons are garbage.
Falcons. Yep.
Hey, we'll bring in Angry Scott for this one. Then add his beloved Cleveland Browns, 5-2. Who wins this one?
Only because it's Halloween night. Will the Browns win?
Okay, 5-3. Was that 5-4? 5-3?
I might give that to you. I might give it to you. I think we'll split the Browns, but we definitely, the one in Cincy, we're taking that one. Panthers.
Without going through the whole
Panthers
schedule.
You got Baker coming to town.
It doesn't get tougher for us until later on in the season. So at Tennessee, that's going to be a big one. We'll edge them out. Chiefs, I think we might lose that one.
Yeah.
But we bounce back against the Browns, Buccaneers. They'll probably take us.
Pats.
down in Tampa Bay.
You guys got kind of hard schedule now looking at it.
Yeah, it toughens up towards the end for sure. Patriots, I think, will bounce back in Foxborough. Bills,
maybe like 11-6, guessing here, 11-6,
Yep.
7, something like that.
ooh, that's a push. I don't know. It's home, so we'll get the advantage, and I think we'll be able to squeak that out. But I wouldn't be surprised if something happens.
So, Kris, real quick, what are some positive and negatives of the team? What are you kind of worried about, and some things you're kind of excited about? If you had to pick.
Pros of the team, again, we continuing momentum. Last year was a big prove-it year for us, a big surprise. So I think as the season wore on, everybody kind of surprised themselves. So if you ask me at the beginning of the season last year, were we a playoff team? Yeah, my blind loyalty says we're always a playoff team.
Right.
But the fact that we got there, the fact that we won the first playoff game since like 1990, I was completely happy. That could have been the season right there. But for the team to just continue to grow and learn how to win, I think they're going to take that newfound skill and use this new O-line, and they're going to take it against one of the toughest schedules in the league. And I think they're going to prove it to themselves again. Knock on wood, if they stay healthy, I think they can prove the same thing last year and be a contender for a second year in a row. At least playoff contender. Well, things get crazy in the playoffs.
Kris, let me ask you: Who wins? Who do you think wins the AFC North?
AFC North. Us.
Okay, I would say yes. I think it's between the Bengals or the Ravens.
Correct.
I think the Browns will finish third. I don't know. Like I said, if we had a quarterback that could, Deshaun was starting the season, I would feel better, in terms of at least on field that we'd have a better chance at winning the division.
Right. And right now, everything's on paper, right? It's NFL. Crazy things happen. Injury bugs. I mean, injuries ravage teams. So, again, all things, if they were to work out perfect, I think we're going to be just fine. Another continuation. But the thing that worries me, that makes me a little nervous, is Jesse Bates, our all-pro or our Pro Bowl safety. He's playing his last year on the franchise tag. We don't expect him to be back, unfortunately. So we got a couple rookies. Dax Hill, see if he's going to step up. Linebackers, we've got a solid core, but we could shore up a little bit more there, maybe tight end.
Right.
So got some stuff to prove, especially on defense, but I think I'm excited. I'm pumped.
There you go.
You guys don't know how long it's been.
It's great to see some real football, because when preseason comes back, you're like, hey, football's back. And then you watch like about the first quarter, you're like, well, football's not really back yet. Right. It's on TV, but it's not really back. So, preseason just doesn't matter. It's oldies, what it could be type of things. But, hey, here's your team on paper, and then who's going to get hurt, who's going to step up, who can play the whole season. So, I mean, obviously, I'm super happy that football is back and ready for another football season. But when you start looking at that schedule, hey, whether you're a Browns or Bengals fan, you said, hey, I think I'm going to have a bunch of wins. And you're like, I kind of see maybe some more losses than what I would think, because those are just pretty damn good teams.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Well, this is the inaugural. Do you boys have any other things that you want to touch on?
Hey, we're good.
Well, this is the inaugural episode of the Brutal Truth Browns Bengals podcast. Please like and describe, or if you're a breakfast person, please like and describe your hash browns. We're going to get some hashtags out there. And this is the Browns Bengals Brutal Truth.
And we're out.
And we're out.